utimi di saska weche Sammy Gyamfi eso mo fire no eso mo pam no utimi di saska weche obi free Sammy Gyamfi we di nkwala asem no Sammy Gyamfi edi no eso nya asutwi wom na politicians omo di sua ade to me eso onya serious asutwi wom.
The president launched this code. As I mentioned earlier, it was well publicized. It received a lot of commendation from so many people. Now, a week or just less than a week, this happens where his own appointee is seen displaying opulence. We find ourselves in a very distressed situation. And yet, if you have your appointee who is doling out dollars, that is serious. And we call on the president. If the president is unable to act on this matter, then the code of conduct must be shredded. It's of no use. It's useless.
Sammy Gyamfi fired. It all happened under the atmosphere looking euphoric and congenial. But shortly, it turned dysphoria and unfriendly as Sammy Gyamfi's name mentioned in harsh on social media, in traditional media, and even reported in the international media. Hold on, did Ghana Gold Board CEO Sammy Gyamfi relegate self-styled evangelist Patricia Odro, popularly known as Agradaa, $800? And why is this making the internet going crazy about it? Well, the answer is yes. While some Ghanaians are calling it reckless, others say it's been blown way out of proportion. But the biggest opposition party, the MPP, says Sammy Gyamfi has not been paid since assuming office. So where did he get the dollars from? Now let's delve into the story. The story broke after a video surfaced showing Agradaa, yes, the self-styled evangelist and former fetish priestess, cheerfully showing off the money she is captured on camera to have taken from Sammy Gyamfi, now serving as CEO of the Ghana Gold Board under President John Mahama's administration. Undoubtedly, this came as a shock to many. The outspoken NDC communicator, known for his hard political stance, given $800 to a controversial figure like Agradaa, and for what reason? Something many people could not understand. This, however, made some political and public figures calling on President John Mahama to sack Sammy Gyamfi from his post as the CEO of Ghana Gold Board. But has it gotten to that? On the contrary, some critics say it is a conflict of value. Others argue it's simply a private gesture that is being overhyped, and Sammy Gyamfi should be left alone because they think he did nothing wrong. Following widespread backlash after the video surfaced, Sammy Gyamfi apologized for his actions and stated that the gesture was intended as a private act of kindness. He is quoted to have said, "I understand the uproar that this gesture has generated, particularly from comrades who are sincerely hurt by same. To all such comrades, I am sincerely sorry for this unfortunate act of indiscretion. I respect and appreciate your views." However, his explanation has been dismissed by those calling for his removal, who argue that such conduct is inappropriate for a political official and undermines the government's credibility. Now let's look at how Sammy Gyamfi has been fired. The development economist and senior research fellow at the Institute of Economic Research and Public Policy, Dr. Frank Bano, has urged President John Mahama to demonstrate his commitment to ethical governance by removing Sammy Gyamfi from his position as CEO of the Ghana Gold Board. In an interview with ABC News, Dr. Bano stated that Gyamfi's ostentatious display of wealth directly contravenes the president's own code of conduct for appointees and emphasized that Mahama must apply the same standards without hesitation in this case. President Mahama recently launched the Code of Ethics for his appointees, in which he indicated that any appointee who is caught engaging in opulent lifestyle, and I repeat, opulent lifestyle, will be immediately dismissed. Sammy Gyamfi has done just that, so he should be dismissed immediately. If Mahama is worth his salt, he should sack Sammy Gyamfi from office with immediate effect. The Code of Ethics he read to the hearing of all Ghanaians stipulates in part that an appointee who engages in opulence will be dismissed. He should walk the talk now, Dr. Frank Bano stated. Also, Mary Awelana Ada, the Executive Director of Transparency International Ghana, has called on President John Mahama to act decisively in response to the escalating controversy surrounding the monetary donation given to fetish priestess turned evangelist Patricia Odru Corentin, also known as Nana Agradaa, by Sammy Gyamfi, the acting chief executive officer of Ghana Gold Board. I believe that certainly this is an opportunity for the president to demonstrate above and beyond that he means business by putting in place his code of conduct. We have had occasion to say that we would also want to see the conduct of public officers passed so that some of these behaviors can be criminalized. Mary is quoted to have said. Moving on, Tio Achampo, an economist and risk analyst, has also weighed in on the controversy, urging President John Mahama to take decisive action. He referenced the president's own foreword in page 9 of the Code of Conduct, which unequivocally states a pledge to deal swiftly and decisively with any political appointee who breaches any of the standards set out in this Code of Conduct. He is of the view that the president's failure to uphold this pledge could severely undermine his stated commitment to fighting corruption, as well as damage the integrity, credibility of his administration in the eyes of the public. However you look at it, President John Mahama must act on this Sammy Gyamfi matter. Last, I remember the Code of Conduct was only launched a few days ago. Page 9 of President Mahama's foreword on the Code of Conduct states, a pledge to deal swiftly and decisively with the political appointee who breaches any of the standards set out in this Code of Conduct. Item C of the Statement of Ethics on page 12 also states that the minister must perform his or her official duties and manage his or her personal affairs in a matter that withstands the closest public scrutiny. For the avoidance of doubt, the Code of Conduct applies to ministers, deputy ministers, presidential staffers, chief executive officers, deputy chief executive officers of state and parastatal institutions, members of the Council of State and other political appointees in the executive arm of government. Page 10. Dr. Tio Achampo wrote, issues. Now, away from that, private legal practitioner and politician Captain Nkrabea Efa, that retired, in his view, believes that Gyamfi's action appeared to be deliberate test of President John Mahama's resolve to enforce the code of conduct for appointees. He emphasized that decisive action should be taken to set a clear example both to government appointees and to the wider Ghanaian public about the consequences of breaching ethical standards. Sammy Gyamfi wants to test the president on the code of conduct and find out whether he's serious in his campaign or it is a 9-day wonder or a mere joke. Because anyone who hears this will know that Sammy Gyamfi's action is not the best. So the president must punish him and set him as an example, Efa stated. Also moving on to Elvis Daku, editor of News Center newspaper, has issued a strong warning to President John Mahama, cautioning that any failure to dismiss Sammy Gyamfi from his position as acting chief executive officer of the Ghana Gold Board could significantly undermine the credibility of the recently launched code of conduct for presidential appointees. The only thing that can save him is when the president decides that he won't sack him. But this is where the president is going to be in a tight corner. This is the first test after launching the code of conduct. So now, once the president fails to sack Sammy Gyamfi, it means that he has set a certain precedent that if others should breach the code, he will not sack them, Mr. Elvis Daku said. Now, here are those defending Sammy Gyamfi. Interestingly, a number of notable individuals across the political divide are among those defending Sammy Gyamfi, stating that there was nothing wrong with his action. On the list is Dr. Cadman Mills, brother of the late former President Atta Mills, has said that he does not know what the fuss is about the NDC National Communication Officer's action. He asked the people who are bashing Sammy Gyamfi and calling for his head to explain the exact crime he has committed by giving Agradaa money. For the life of me, can someone explain to me what all this fuss about Sammy Gyamfi is all about? Is the problem that he was caught making gifts in dollars instead of cedis, that the gift was to someone known to be unsympathetic to the NDC while the foot soldiers are wallowing in poverty, that the amount, $800, was too high, that Sammy Gyamfi could not possibly legally have come across this sum? He was involved in shady deals because I am actually quite perplexed, he wrote. Also, renowned legal practitioner Mr. Martin Pebu has also defended Sammy Gyamfi. Speaking in an interview on 3FM, Martin Pebu refuted assertion that the acting CEO's action amount to a display of public opulence. He explained that Sammy Gyamfi enters his car to give the money to Agradaa, and it is no fault of his that the cameras captured the private action. He entered the car and counted the money. So if it's the paparazzi that snooped in on him, I think we should start the analysis from that point. He entered the car. He didn't stand publicly to count the money. He entered the car and counted. Then a camera was put in there. That is why I said this thing. We really have to be careful how we are analyzing. Look at the video. He didn't stand openly and start counting. He entered the car. The car is his private space. That car is not a public space. It's his private space, and he didn't invite people in, Martin Pebu said. Also, the founder and leader of the United Front Party, Akwasi Adai Odike, also jumped to the defense of Sammy Gyamfi. Sammy Gyamfi has done no wrong, and there is no law in Ghana that dictates how people should spend their money. Also, no law directs people on who they should give their money to and who they should not. And so, the foot soldiers should stop it. Sammy Gyamfi has done no wrong. I am not a member of the NDC, but Sammy Gyamfi has done no wrong, Odike said. And then away from that, Sam George, the Minister for Communications, Digital Technology and Innovation, has also refuted assertion that Sammy Gyamfi has not been catering for the grassroots of the NDC. In a post shared on Facebook, the minister, who is also the Member of Parliament for Ningo Pram, said he has been advocating for jobs for NDC members more than anybody. A comrade who has stood with many and continues to do so. You may have issues with who he gave to and what he gave, but let's be fair to the young man. Since I have been appointed, Sammy Gyamfi is the most troublesome person on my phone looking for jobs for party people. It is who he is. I can relate with all the attacks, but Sammy Gyamfi, keep your head up, respond to the query, but always know you have the respect and affection of many. Sam George wrote. Moving forward, Ghanaian dancehall sensation Shatta Wale has defended the CEO of the Ghana Board Board. According to him, Sammy Gyamfi had been helping people even before his appointment. Do you all know when Sammy Gyamfi started helping the street? All of you should shut up and leave the young man alone if you do not know about someone's humble beginning. We like tarnishing people's image too much, Shatta Wale wrote. Also, media personality Nana Aba Anamwa has slammed Ghanaians for criticizing Sammy Gyamfi for handing dollar bills to Agradaa. In a post shared, Nana Aba questioned why Ghanaians are acting as though Sammy Gyamfi had never had dollars before his party assumed power. Asking Ghanaians to cut him some slacks, she quizzed, "You mean Sammy Gyamfi had no dollars until his party won the election? He had never seen dollars before January 7, 2025? She asked sarcastically. I thought it was all social media banter until I heard the conversation on the radio. Honestly, you lot need to raise the level of political discourse," she added. The Member of Parliament for Medina, Francis Javisoso, has also mounted a strong defense for the acting chief executive officer of the Ghana Board. According to him, those criticizing Sammy Gyamfi are merely expressing resentment and personal grievances, suggesting that their reactions stem from an inability to comprehend or accept Gyamfi's elevation to his current position, an advancement he attributed to the blessings and favor of God. It is well, you committed no crime. The haters are hurt. They can't believe that God can live and bless you such that you can become a blessing unto others. Leave them. Let them do their worst. We got you. God has your back. Stay focused and blessed. So share this on social media. What shocked many Ghanaians is Ernest Owusu-Bempah, a deputy director of communication of the New Patriotic Party, who also jumped to the defense of Sammy Gyamfi. This noise being made about Sammy Gyamfi gifting dollars to Agradaa is dead on arrival. Nobody has the moral rights to attack that young man. Nobody can attack Sammy Gyamfi on this particular matter. Are we saying that because Sammy Gyamfi hasn't had an extensive working life, he cannot boast of just 10,000 US dollars? Let us speak the truth. Nobody should go around attacking the young man. and I will say this anywhere. We should be careful about the way we do our politics. If there had been a scandal at Gold Board, that would be a different matter. As for me, I don't support such jealousy. He is a young man who has followed Mahama for a long time, and now people want to vilify him and get him removed. No, when young people are doing well, we should support them. He has apologized and admitted that what he did was a case of youthful exuberance. But the cause for his dismissal are misplaced, Owusu Bempa said. One thing is clear, in today's Ghana, even a kind gesture can become a national debate. So what do you think? Was Sammy Gyamfi wrong to give Agradaa money, or are people just too quick to judge? Drop your thought in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more breaking updates and inside stories. Well, the view of the day has crept upon our thoughts, and nature must obey its necessity. Here is where we draw the curtains. My name is Paul Lingua, the Africa Outrage.